Good evening, all. Tom here, Man City Fan TV, and welcome to the TNT Live. We are back. It's been 2 weeks since we've last done a live, but we are here now. We are back, and we're here with a player ratings, a Q&A, a little bit of talk on the Man City Football Fantasy League, and that is about it for us. But yeah, I hope everybody's doing well. A very successful, good result last night against obviously Leipzig, 6-3. Bit of a crazy game, I think, to be honest with you. But I think we did pretty well. I think we did actually very well. You know, getting 6 goals against any team is good. Obviously, conceding 3 on the other side of things isn't probably the best. But if we're looking the long term and the bigger picture, then it isn't too bad. But yeah, we will be doing a player ratings tonight. Andy's just saying hello. But yeah. I'll do a little bit of what I thought of the game before we obviously get into the player ratings. I thought we actually played quite well. The attacking play was very, very good. If we look on the bigger picture, you know, we attacked well. We scored some great goals. I thought Grealish scored a fantastic goal, his first goal for the club in the Champions League. I thought Cancelo's goal was absolutely brilliant. I thought we attacked well. The defending was slightly dodgy at times, but we'll allow it. It's not too bad because it's only group stage games, you know. But we should be really defending a little bit better than we did. Obviously, Mahrez with a penalty, which is obviously good to see that we're netting the penalties away. It's what we like to see. And we've got. I'm trying to think of what else happened in the game that was actually good to sort of mention. Obviously, Ake got his first goal in City. Obviously, some sad news came from Ake after the game, and we found out that his father had passed away, which was really sad to see and hear. But hopefully, everything's okay with Nathan and his family. But you know, he got the goal, so hopefully that was a nice little moment for him. But it obviously won't be over the course of stuff. The second City goal was a joke. There you go. Video unavailable, it says. Oh, does it now? I have to have a look at that. Our video's unavailable. Let's have a look. It seems to be live now. Or is it paused? Yeah, I'm speaking. I'm back. I think now gone again. It seems to be working on my phone, guys. It's working for Yusuf. Brad, it's working for you. All okay here. Sound, we're working. We're on. We're back. Anyway, yeah, here we go. We've got a few more people. I thought when I was speaking to 2 people, I'm like, what the hell's going on here? But it seems to be all right. We seem to be doing a good job now. We are back. So yeah, anyway, for anybody who'd missed what I just said, I was just talking about what I thought of the game. I thought we did really well. I thought we scored some good goals. I won't go through it all again, but yeah, we'll be doing a player rating tonight as well. I will have a special guest on. You'll know him. He will be coming on to do the player ratings with me. I am going to say hello to everybody first, and then he will obviously join me for the player ratings. I've gone far and wide for his guest. He's a special guest. You'll be really happy to see him. Well, I am anyway. It'll be good to have someone on. But what we'll do is we'll see. That's him saying that. Working evening, mate. And he's just saying it's back. Faye's on. Hi, Tomo. There you go. Hello, Faye. Do City really need Kane or Haaland? Hey, Tom. Right, Dad. There we go. And he's going lol. Yeah, all good. Thanks, mate. Everybody's having a good chat. It's good to see. Good evening, Tom says. Blue Moon, good evening. Hope you're well. Oh, dear. There you go. Kisses to Faye. Kisses to Faye. Oh, dear me. There we go. But yeah, I hope everybody's obviously doing well. I hope everybody's happy. obviously I'm just going to go a little bit into what I thought Pep said last night. A lot of sort of, how do I put it? A lot of, it's weird. Let me try and get a quote up. Let me try and get the quote up. What he said. He said, "Chat working, but not video. It seems to be working, Dad. I don't know why it's not working for you, but I've got it on my phone here because I've been looking at a close eye, and it seems to be working. It seems to be working." See what Pep said. I'm just going to try and find it because City Extra reported it. Pep said, "I'd like more people to come on Saturday. We will be tired. Southampton are so dangerous. I invite all our people to come 3 p.m. to watch our game." That's what he did say about, obviously, the comments. I thought it was actually quite full last night. I didn't go myself. My dad and my sister went. But I was at football training and I was at college quite late on, so I wouldn't have been able to make it. But yeah, from what I saw, I thought we played really well. I thought we were open, we were attacking. I thought overall we were class. Obviously, the defense did struggle a little bit, but we'll come into that a little bit with the player ratings. But yeah, we'll get into the player ratings in a minute. I'll start off talking about Edison, and then the special guest. The special guest will come on and with me. He'll be coming on now. This is cue the special guest. Hopefully he comes to the bottom of my screen in about 2 seconds. That'd be nice. Hurry up and buy a new phone, then I can have yours. Well, yeah, it'll be next week. Don't worry, Dad. Next week I'll be getting a new one. We've got some tools trying to put some funny stuff in the chat, so it's just a nice little block there. Andy's just saying what we're doing tonight: review the game, play ratings, Pep's comments, and all that sort of stuff. So look with him. Does anybody else keep worrying about Edison's shot keeping? There you go. Andy's going to be 5 minutes. There you go. Simon Jordan is an absolute idiot. He can't stand City and have dominated the league for the last 10 years. Jack Holder's on saying, "Yes, Tom, old lad." Now then, Jack, hope you're well, pal. Jack plays with me in my football team. Who else we got here? The games in Champions League finished so late, there's no train back for me, which is the problem. Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine it's difficult for a lot of people. Obviously, I don't know that myself because obviously I do travel to the game by car, obviously with my dad. But I can imagine it is quite a pain in the ass, especially at that time. So I don't know where you're coming from, to be honest with you, Brad, but I can imagine it is quite annoying for you, obviously, trying to get back because obviously since COVID started, I know myself being on trains quite recently before I obviously managed to drive. It is a pain to try and obviously find a train to get and it not being delayed. And then if there's a delay, how are you guaranteed to get back home after that? So I can imagine. City's here. And he goes, "Hi, Tom. Sorry I'm late. No worries, mate. I hope you are well." Low Fat M16 is saying, "Pep asking Maris to sprint back is like asking me to run after Mo Farah." Yeah, it is. Yusuf says, "How expensive are the City Champions League tickets?" I couldn't tell you that. I could not tell you that. For anybody who does know, I can't remember what I've had. I don't know if there were £12 for kids. There you go. No, there. Andy's saying £60 some tickets last night. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy, really. My dad, who obviously went last night, he said, "Good attendance last night. Biggest issue at the ground is the parking. Half the car parks have disappeared." There you go. Brad's going, "I'm from the Lake District. It's about 2-hour journey and Northern Rail's trains are always cancelled as well." Hence why I was asking, because I obviously, you'll know, I was travelling into Skipton. You might know that, Brad. Skipton, obviously, with Northern Rail, and I can vouch they are absolutely shocking. Last night's tickets were around 25, says Danny. There you go. City Chipper saying everyone's late in. Yeah, exactly. Everybody's coming over to ours and enjoying our show, which is what we like to see. But yeah, Here we go. Low fat M16 sin, £25 adult and £15 junior I paid. Not too bad then in total, really, for the game. But, it'd be interesting if they're the prices for this game. The PSG game is going to be a ridiculous price, and it is going to be a ridiculous price, to be honest with you. What I'll do is, whilst we're waiting for Andy, I'll get a little bit of the Q&A bit, if you'd like. Any questions you've got quickly before until Andy gets here, and then I've just released a special guest. And then we'll go into the play ratings, and that's how we'll finish the show tonight. So any questions you've got, let's get the questions set now, and then we can move on and do the play ratings obviously afterwards. So get your questions in, and then we can carry on. So I was making sure it's all still going all right. Just making sure, because obviously I just making sure it was going on. Did anybody else hear the boos from the crowd when the PA announcer said there will be no bus service operating? City says, how's college? College is going well. Everything's going all right at the moment. Second week now. We're doing good. It's going well. We're doing a bit of forest work next week in a forest close by to us. For anybody who is around that place, Gisborne Forest, we're going to do some work over there in the next 2 weeks. So yeah, that is us over there. So that will be nice. But yeah, college is going well so far. Obviously, you don't really get into it such until you obviously are a few weeks down the line, because it's just getting used to it. But yeah, it's not too bad. Lad behind us thought we were being serious. And I heard the PSG ticket prices are £50 to £60. Well, it would not surprise me if that was the case, not going to lie. It would not surprise me. But yeah, what we'll do now is, unless anybody's got more, there's one more question there. Would you start Cancelo over Walker for the next game? I don't know about that one. I don't think so. I thought Walker's been doing well, and I thought Cancelo's been doing well. It'd be interesting to see. Are you going to the PSG game? Hopefully so. Does the club sell tickets on game day? I don't know about that. They used to. You could go and get them, but I don't know if you still can. And Andy's just said, yes, that was confirmed via email. So I'm presuming that's the prices of the PSG tickets, maybe. But yeah, the main man is in the bottom of my screen now. He's ready. Are you ready, Andy? No, he's not ready yet. Well, yeah, we'll see if there's anything else that anybody wants to say. It's like the grand opening. Oh, dear me. I best get my player ratings up from Manchester Evening News ready. Get it up ready. Let's have a look. I'll get the player ratings up, obviously, from Manchester Evening News. Flat cap tonight, Tom says, my dad. Yes, I had to bring it out. Of course I did. Bringing back some good memories of the flat caps. You know, you can't go wrong with a flat cap. I was thinking about playing my next round of golf in a flat cap, but yeah. But I'm gonna stop my flat cap talks, because here he is. He's ready for us.
Hey up, how you doing? Sorry.
Not too bad. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Everything's going well, to be fair. It's been a long time since we've done a show together.
It is. Sorry, I was just eating some gyoza.
There you
go. I had a good chat with your dad last night.
Yeah.
He rang me. We had a right good chat, which was nice. So it's been mad. The last couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks, have just been horrendous with work. But it's good to be back on. I thought I'd nip on tonight and say hello to everyone. And I do apologise. It's been the international break, which has been nothing but garbage to talk about. But yes, it's great to be back chatting to everyone and seeing you again, mate.
Yeah, it's all good.
You've missed a couple of weeks, haven't you?
Yeah, I have. Obviously, we had the technical issues one week, and then last week I was celebrating my last week I was celebrating my granddad's 80th birthday before he went back to Cyprus. It was a surprise one, and obviously now we're back, so everything's good.
We're back.
Everything's good.
We're back. We're back.
Sure
We've got tomorrow night. Don't forget, tomorrow night we've got a Friday night social, and so we're going to. Ross will be on, and we're going to be chatting all things Southampton. And I think we may have a guest on Southampton YouTuber. So we'll preview the Southampton game. Obviously, we'll be at the game on Saturday. So if you see me around, don't know what time I'm going to get there, but I am going to leave early because my wife and my lads are going because it's my lad's birthday in a few days' time. So they're going, but they're going in separate cars. So if you see me around and you want to chat, come over and have a chat. But hopefully the queues won't be as bad as they were for the Arsenal game, which took me an hour to get from the CFG to the blue car park. It was ridiculous. It really was. But thankfully, good, for City, they let us in for free instead of £10. So fair play. But anyway, over to you.
Yeah, and I'll be there as well on Saturday. And like you say, I was trying to meet you obviously last time, and he ended up. I'd got out of my car. I turned up. Andy was in the queue when I was just approaching my car park, and I got into my car park, was in the ground, and had one drink before Andy had actually got into the car park. It was absolutely crazy, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was absolutely mental. But hopefully with the pre-booked car park. So hopefully with the pre-bookings being back on now.
Yeah.
It should, but I'm still going to leave early Saturday morning, drop my dog at my mum's and then get to the ground early because I'm not going to sit for an hour just trying to get 500 metres. I mean, it's ridiculous.
No, exactly.
But anyway.
But did you watch any of the game last night, Andy?
I did. I managed to see. I missed the first 10-15 minutes because, like I said, I've been working. So, but apart from that, I managed to watch the rest of it. Crazy game. I mean, defensively, we weren't great, but attacking wise, we were brilliant and could have had another 3 or 4 if I'm being honest. So you can't complain. Listen. If you turn up for the game and you see 6-3, loads of goals, 9 goals in a game, I mean, what's that? 16 goals in the last 3 games. So you can't complain about that.
No, you can't, can you? You can't complain. I thought we played all right, obviously attacking-wise. I thought we scored some good goals. I thought, if you look at Grealish and Cancelo's goals especially, they were some well-taken goals there. And it was nice to obviously see Ake get a goal.
Especially after we found out this morning. Yeah, his father died literally minutes after he scored the goal. He's been really poorly for a while. So thoughts out to Nathan Ake and his family.
100%. And moving on from obviously a little bit, Edison. How did you think Edison played, Andy? What I'll do is we'll just do our own player ratings tonight, and then we'll just, rather than reading all their out, me and you'll just give ours, and then we'll just say what they've said. We'll give our opinions.
Edison, I mean, he's a legend. I mean, he's brilliant with his feet. But again, I go back to the fact of how I know the one of the weekend hit him in the face and, whatever else, but sometimes you look at the one last night that, the one where I think it was his 3rd goal, and you just think he's diving to his left and he puts it to his right. And I don't know whether he's such a great shot stopper.
No, I agree.
I'm a bit worried about that side. I mean, thankfully, we're a team that, opposition teams generally don't have a lot of shots against us. But people used to complain about Bravo going on
didn't they?
8 shots and 7 goals. Well, you don't often see Edison making brilliant saves when he's one-on-one. He tends to generally get beat one-on-one. So... But you can't complain about his output because his output is absolutely phenomenal for our style of play. So, I think he needs to do a bit better, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I agree.
The size of him.
I agree. So what rating would you give him?
I'd give him a 6, average 6 last night, maybe even a 5.5. I don't know.
Yeah.
There or thereabouts.
Yeah,
couldn't give him any more than that because I didn't see too many amazing long passes. So conceding 3. No, I don't think he could do much for the first 2. They were pretty close range, but the 3rd one I thought he went down a bit too easy.
Yeah, Well, I personally thought the same thing. I thought, a little bit down too easily. Maybe he could have done a little bit better. The last goal, I must say, from Nkunku was actually a good finish. I thought he slotted that pretty well. But still conceding 3 goals, and still obviously the shot stopping, aspect of his game still needs to be improved a little bit. And I could agree with that statement. I think it was about a 6 rating. I'd give him a 6 personally. So sort of similar on there. We've got a few of the guys in the comments. So we've got Danny saying Edison 8, Charlie's saying 7.5. We've got my dad saying 7, Dudley saying 6.5. We've got Sam T saying 6. Andy, I agree. One area he needs to improve is one-on-one, 7 for him. We've got Mingy Wong saying 6 for Edison, and we've got Lowfat M16 saying Edison 6. So there's a few higher ones than us there, Andy, but I think everybody's on the same basis there.
Thereabouts.
Yeah, moving on to obviously Joao Cancelo, the right back last night. I thought he played pretty well personally. He drove hard down that right hand side, and he did keep them. They were vulnerable. I thought that was where quite a lot of the play did come from. Obviously Grealish, but we'll speak about him a bit later. And I thought he scored a really good goal as well. I'd personally give him about a 7.5. Obviously, being a defender as well, conceding 3 is obviously not the best, but hence why it wasn't an 8. So I had to knock him down a 0.5 for that. Obviously, because, I'm part of the defence and, we did concede 3, so that shouldn't be, looked upon. So I wonder what you think, Andy. What do you think?
A real Jekyll and Hyde performance from Cancelo for me.
Yeah.
Going forward, absolutely phenomenal. His passing range is exceptional for a right back, or in a right back role. His goal was brilliant, a superb strike, and he can pull one of those out. He'll probably get 5 or 6 goals this season from scoring.
Oh, 100%.
Those type of ones. Just keep saying it time and time again.
I know.
He is not a defender. He is not a defender. And at the start of the game in the first half, a lot of the problems were coming from his side, their left. He was getting caught out of position. He was in 2 minds. But he made up for it with his passing. His passing was exceptional. I think if we could find a position for Cancelo in that false 8 role, which when he goes forward, he plays brilliantly in, it'd be superb for the team. But to rely on him as a defender, I mean, if we're going to come up against the likes of PSG with an Mbappe and others, worries me. It does. And that's why I would play Walker. Walker over him against the better teams. I think the lesser teams, we can get away with it because we'll score more. But on another given night, last night, we might not have scored 6. It might have been 3. It might have been a 3-all draw, and that would be a big disappointing result. So for me, because of his goal and because of his passing range, I'd give him a 7 because, like I said, it's split down the middle. Yeah. Brilliant going forward. Can't defend. That's the only downside with him.
Yeah, so we've got pretty similar there, really. I think Danny 2ME's gone for a 7 there. Charlie said poor defensively again from Cancelo, solid 7, nothing too good. My dad's gone for a 7. We've got Danny, obviously, I think he's gone for 7 again there. Let's have a look, keep scrolling down. We've got Mingy Wong saying Cancelo 7.
Charlie's on. How you do, mate?
Yeah, good to see Charlie. Malk's saying Cancelo. I think that's meant to be Cancelo. 8, played well going forward. Be better in midfield. Dudley Lewis says 7.5 to 8, not a defender. We've got Cancelo, 7.5 for Lowfat M16.
2? 2? Christopher Lana, 2.
Poor Cancelo.
I mean, I put up there, Charlie says Cancelo defensively cannot stand him playing at full back. For me, against lesser teams, we get away with it. But, against the top teams, not for me. I mean, he fits in as a, supplementary left back, maybe, if we're struggling. But, you can't fault. I mean, he's definitely better going forward than Kyle Walker. There's no doubt about it. You can't say anything different. But he's a right back, and you want him to defend.
Yeah, exactly. Moving on to one of the centre backs last night, Ruben Diaz. I thought I thought he was really good last night.
Yeah.
Obviously, I thought Ake in a way was sort of holding him back a little bit. You know, you always see Diaz sort of shine a little bit more when he plays with Ake because it just shows his true qualities because he's sort of the better defender out of the two. Whereas when he's playing with Laporte and Stones, it's a little bit more balanced. But last night, I think you saw why he is by far one of our best centre backs there, and why he got the award from UEFA from last season too, because you know he was strong, and he was you know, a leader back there, and he was the one who got him through the tough points because you know it was a close game at some point. 6-3 doesn't really cover how tight it was at points. You know, it was 3-1, 3-2, and you know it was getting closer and closer. And you know, I thought you know then we sort of went away 4-3, and then we obviously got the last two. But Diaz's leadership back there 100% got us through that. Hence why I gave him on my thing an 8 on my ratings, an 8. I thought it was absolute solid. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, got an 8 from me.
Yeah.
Another really classy performance. I mean, he's, you know, he had the armband definitely should be on him for next season. Yeah. I know they've got, at the moment, they've got Fernandinho, they've got Gundogan and Kevin De Bruyne. But for me, this season, the armband should be on Diaz.
100%.
Right, because he's a leader. I mean, and at such a young age, we're already seeing that Vincent Kompany in him. What hates to have, you know, lose a tackle or not get a block in, or his defenders not doing what they're supposed to do. I mean, he's very outspoken, and by all accounts, the players respect him as well. Seems an intelligent lad, head screwed on. Another great performance from him last night. An 8 for me. Charlie says, "Did you go?" I didn't, mate, because I was working, so I missed the first 10 minutes of the game, unfortunately. So, but I'll be there on Saturday.
There you go. As well, some of you guys have put your ratings in. So we've got Brad Niblock, he's saying 8. We've got Danny 2ME saying Diaz 8. City Chippy says Diaz 7. Charlie's saying Diaz 8.5. Let's have a look. We've got Malk saying Diaz 7.5. Started to look tired after all the games he's played. We've got Mingy Wong saying Diaz 8. Leicester 2-1 against Napoli, if you're interested in that. But yeah, and we've got Low Fat M16 saying Diaz 7. So, you know, you can't really argue with that. I think everybody's sort of giving it a pretty positive rating from Diaz. And if we move on to what the first goal scorer of the evening last night, Nathan Ake, I thought his goal, to be fair, was really good. I thought he got up pretty well.
For somebody who's not 6'2", he's like 5'10", 5'11". He's got a great leap in him.
Yeah,
he really has.
100%.
I had a conversation at some point. I was on a break yesterday, and somebody had posted something about Ake, and we were talking about it on Twitter for about 10 minutes. And I feel sorry for him because he was, I spoke to Bournemouth fans before he came to City when the rumours were he was coming to City, and they said he definitely deserves a move to City. He's by far the best player at Bournemouth, by a million miles. But he played every week for Bournemouth.
Yeah,
exactly. City, he was never. We've got Laporte and Stones still vying for centre-back positions. We've got problems at left-back. All right, Laporte can play there. Zinchenko. Mendy is definitely going off the radar at City. And has pretty much signed and sealed and delivered, that he won't be at City again, regardless of what people think about it, because they've already removed his shirts from the shop and he's off all, the media side of it. But he's just never going to get a run of games, and that's what he had at Bournemouth. And sadly, unless he does and we get injuries, John Stones has got an injury at the moment, and unless Laporte gets injured, he's not going to get a run of games.
No.
I feel sorry for him because I don't think he's let us down. He's made one mistake, but all defenders make mistakes. Diaz has made mistakes. Stones, Laporte, Zinchenko, last night, at the back post for that header, wasn't covering his man.
No.
But I just think he's going to get enough game time. That's the only problem with him. And I think if he did, but I think he's a great utility player and brilliant for City, considering, we normally go long in competitions. So we've got 4 competitions that we could go long in like we normally do. So he'll get plenty of game times. It's just whether he'll be happy to be a bit part player rather than being a number one. It's one of those. So I do feel sorry for him.
Yeah. But yeah, I couldn't agree more with that. Hopefully, obviously, last season he was injured quite a lot throughout the start of the seasons when the cup games were coming. So hopefully, we do see him a little bit more in the cup competitions. Obviously, we've got Wickham next week, is it, or the week after? Can't remember. I think it's next week. Is it next week? Hopefully, we see him start there and be a leader at the back. And it'd be nice to see him obviously get a few string of games, whether it's only in cup competitions or over Christmas time. I'm sure he'll be used quite a little bit. But anyway, some of you guys have put your ratings in. We've got Charlie saying Aki was decent, 7.5. We've got Danny 2ME saying Aki 6. Doug Lewis is saying 8. The conversation between the defenders was non-existent. Brad Niblock says 8.5. Ake played well knowing his dad was seriously ill. Doug Lewis says Ake 7. Let's have a look. We've got Malk saying Ake 7. Good goal, but needs a run of games. Was put under pressure from midfield, giving the ball away easy. Yeah, my dad says he had a mixed game last night, maybe a conference thing, but my sincere condolences for his sad loss. Some things are more important than football, 100% there. Me one says, Ake, so sorry to hear about his dad, 100%. It is sad news. I didn't expect to see that when I saw his Instagram post this morning, because I obviously saw it, because I follow him. But do you see what he said about the game, and then the second paragraph was that and sad news. So it was a shock, really, but fair play for him carrying on. Really fair play.
I would have given him a 7 because of his goal. I
gave him a 7 too. Moving on to the last man in the defence last night, Alex Zinchenko. I thought it was one of those mixed games for Zini last night. He's been way better in the past, and his standards he's set over the past few months, and especially last season near the end, I think you could class it as one of his poorer games. I thought it obviously
hardly played though. It's a game. Yeah. It's another. How many run of games is he having? And we saw that last year with him when he had that run of games.
Yeah.
How great he was, but it's again this season's been a stuttering start for the right backs, the centre backs, the left back, and even the midfield to a certain degree. But he's not really had a run of games, and we're early into the season, so I'm not going to be too harsh on him. But it was a bit of a mixed bag last for him.
Yeah, I gave him a 6.5. I didn't go too harsh on him, but I didn't, it wasn't all his fault or anything like that. So I think 6.5 for me seemed pretty fair on him, to be honest.
I gave him a 6. I thought he was so. He did all right. I thought he could have done better at the back post for that header. Yeah. He's got plenty of time. Especially with Mendy being out now, he'll probably have a real good run of games unless Pep decides to switch the team around again and put Raheem Sterling at left back or something like that.
Who knows? It could happen. And then we've got Tyrone Douglas just there with a 6. And then we've got my dad saying, love Zinni, a player that wears his heart on the sleeve. Mixed for Zinni, but love his attitude, 6.5. 100%. You just had to see after that Paris Saint-Germain game at home when we went through to the was it the finals? It was. And he was in tears. That's the passion you want to see.
There's no doubt. Yeah. He's a brilliant utility player for us.
He is. He's brilliant. Really impressive.
But he never complains. Just gets on with it. And you need in a team like a City or a Liverpool, you need those players that are quite happy that if they don't play every week, they're content to bide the time. And you need that, and he is definitely one of them.
Yeah, and it just shows once again how good a lot of people say how good it is for to play for Man City because you're always welcome no matter what role he is in your team. Hence why Carson's obviously signed the extra year because even he said it. How welcome he feels even though he's only played one game. The support he got when he did play that one game was like he played like every single week. So it sounds like you have to watch that behind the scenes the last 40 days.
Bit of a cult figure,
Yeah, he is, isn't he? He's like a celebrity in there. Anyway, moving on to midfield now. We've got Rodri. I thought he played reasonably well last night. I thought he did get caught out quite a little bit. There was a little bit of a counter-attack where he did obviously get caught. But he did enable a little bit of the Rodri magic that he does have and did obviously create and start off a few of the attacks for the goals. But once again, his defensive side let him down a little bit last night in defending the goals. So I gave him a 7 last night, based on the fact I thought he was quite good up going forward, but his defensive side let him down. Hence why I gave him the same result as Cancelo earlier on, because I thought they were quite similar.
Gets a 6 from me. I worry about him for next season.
Yeah.
I worry about him being at City next season, I'll be honest with you. And I've been a massive Rodri sort of supporter.
Yeah.
But when you see the likes of Bellingham and Calvin Phillips and others that we allegedly rumoured in, you look at them and you think, God, those players will bring far more energy. For me, it slows everything down.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Well, not everything. It's unfair to say he slows everything down. It's a slower progression when he's on the ball for me. But he has had, he's into his second year, and I guess maybe as time goes on, he'll probably get better and hopefully will improve. But for me, I think put it this way. I'll say it now, and I might eat my words, and everyone can come back at me. I'll be surprised if he's Man City's central defensive midfielder next year.
Yeah, there's a man at West Ham that I think we're looking at.
But
I still don't personally think he'd be the right replacement.
Know. Yeah, neither do I. I mean, he's a great kid, Declan Rice.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It'd be interesting to speak about that, won't it?
Maybe
we'll about that another time.
Maybe January time we'll do something around that.
Definitely. Moving on to midfield a little bit further up, we've got Bernardo Silva, the legend at the moment. Obviously got us the win at Leicester the other day, and I think last night I thought he played really well. I thought he was all over the pitch, linking up with Kevin quite well. Obviously on his return, and I gave him an 8 last night. I thought he played really well.
Well, Charlie thinks Phillips over Rice, in my opinion. Rice.
And to be honest, I agree with him, to be fair. Bellingham
for me, says Lofat. Did you order the chilies, Andy? Yeah, I did. Yeah, I've got all the chili sauces. I've been busy. I haven't had time. I will do the chicken wing challenge, I promise.
Hey, that's
Bernardo,
what we like to hear.
Yeah, Bernardo. Maybe we'll do it when you and your dad come over for
imagine. Yeah, that's exactly what we'll do it then.
Maybe we'll do it then. If you didn't know, Tom and his dad are going to come over to my place, and we're going to spend the night to it, and we're going to play some golf, and we'll do some filming as well.
Yeah. Of me shanking it into the trees. Hopefully not.
And me. So I did play last week with Ben Woodburn. And that was interesting. Bernardo, he's just on fire. He's been probably our most consistent player so far this season. Thought he had a great game last night. Definite 8 for me. Looks electric. Now let's hope that he can continue that throughout the season. If he continues to keep his place. And brilliant. I mean, he's really, really sort of on fire, and that's good to see. Because I don't think any City fan wanted him to go. Obviously, if he wants to go, you can't keep him. You let him go, get as much money as you can. But I think most City fans want him to stay. I'm sure Pep wants him to stay, and maybe now Pep's giving him more chance and sort of saying, "Well, there you go. Here's your opportunity. You do it. If you don't do it like you didn't do it last year, if you don't do it, then you can go and we'll sell you." But he's doing it, and he's playing really well at the moment.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's realised now he's got a bit of time. And obviously now Kevin's back. Obviously when Phil comes back as well, maybe we'll see. Maybe it's typical that because, that's when it might change.
Yeah,
that's what I personally think he shouldn't be dropped. I think, the others should have to work their way back into the squad. But unfortunately, it doesn't work like that, does it?
Yes, Charlie.
Moving on to the next man, which is Kevin De Bruyne. It was so good to see him back on the team lineup last night. I thought he was absolutely brilliant once again. I thought the cross for the own goal was absolutely unreal. it just brought back that, when the Stoke City game a few years ago when he
Yeah.
whipped the ball in for Sane.
Yeah.
It just reminded me of that again. I thought it was unreal, and the fact that he hadn't played any football and he's come straight back into that squad and done what he's done just shows how much of a great player he is, and that's why I gave him a 9 last night. I thought he was absolutely superb.
He got a 9 from me as well. I thought he was, considering, like you said, I think you hit the nail on the head, considering that he's not played any football. And then he walked straight into a Champions League game like that. And his passing and his touch and everything. And, he made some misplaced passes and, on occasions. But overall, when he's in the team, he will make something happen. And he plays balls that not many players, apart from your Gerrards or your Lampards, those type of players, can play. And, United, you got Pogba and others. They don't play balls like Kevin De Bruyne plays. I mean, there are very few players who can hit those type of balls. And Gerrard and Lampard and Beckham maybe in the old days. But he could. His passing range is phenomenal. His situational awareness on a pitch is just an absolute joy to watch. And we are a far better team when he's playing. So a 9 for me. I thought considering he's not played, he was exceptional. Yeah,
I agree. I thought he was absolutely superb, and how exciting that's going to be with the link-up play of Grealish and Kevin De Bruyne in the next few weeks. It's going to be absolutely spectacular. And, we have got some big games coming up in the next few weeks. I think it's something like Liverpool on one weekend, Paris Saint-Germain away in the midweek, and then we got Chelsea away or something like that on the weekend after. So it's maybe the other way around. I think it's the other way around, actually. I think it's Chelsea first, Paris Saint-Germain, then Liverpool. But it just shows you that, the tough, schedule. It'll able to show Kevin De Bruyne once again how classy he actually is. But moving on to the... I'll let you carry on.
I was saying we have got, because obviously we've got Southampton on Saturday, followed by Wickham on Tuesday, followed by Chelsea Saturday, followed by PSG away, then followed by Liverpool.
Yeah.
And then we've been to the sort of Burnley, Bruges, Brighton, Palace, Bruges.
BBB.
But then obviously United. So, we've got what you would consider to be an easier sort of couple of weeks, but with the next 2-3 weeks, we've got some big games.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. And those big games now, with how tight it is at the top, we are playing the 3 sides above us there, really. So it'll be big. It will be big. But I think, if we play our football, I can't see why we can't beat them, because I don't think they're spectacular, the other sides. I don't think anybody's sort of set, a standard yet. If anybody, obviously, bar our defeat, I think we've looked the best up front. I really do. I think we've the one who's, kept the 2 clean sheets and only conceded 1 goal, so who knows what will happen.
I think it's going to be different as well. Now we've got De Bruyne and Phil Foden back as well. 100%. I think that, and let's face it, we've hardly seen Raheem this season. So there's 3. I mean, if you said to any team in the Premier League, you're without Kevin De Bruyne, without Phil Foden, you're out without Raheem Sterling. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, that's like saying United are without Pogba, Ronaldo, and Jadon Sancho or whoever. But that's the impact. Well, we obviously lost to Spurs, but we've got these 3 players back now after a long rest, which they'll need for this season.
Yeah, exactly. And it'd be interesting to see how good they make the impact, with how good, Grealish has looked so far without De Bruyne. You have to remember all these players are playing well without, obviously, the superb, deliveries of Kevin De Bruyne. Ferran Torres, look how good he's been recently. And, what's he going to look like with, Kevin De Bruyne feeding him balls through? It's going to be really, really good. And that moves me on nicely to one of the wingers from last night, and that's Riyad Mahrez. I thought he did give Angelino quite a hard time, hence why I think he got obviously the double booking. But obviously I thought he was average overall. I thought this penalty, fair play, but other than his penalty, I don't think he did much in the game, and that's why I gave him a 6.5 last night. Few people, I thought fair play for his penalty. I thought he did well with the penalty, great penalty taking, but other than that, he didn't really do much.
Yeah. I think. I mean, Pep. We saw Pep getting into Grealish and to Mahrez about not tracking back. And I've always said it, and I'll say it again, and I'll say it again, I say it again. We won 6-3, brilliant. Yeah. But whenever you got Cancelo and Mahrez on the right hand side, you're not gonna get much change out of their left back, their left midfielder, and their left winger. They just don't track back enough. Excuse me. And I think that's what Pep was getting into Mahrez and Grealish, saying, with Sterling tracks back on the left. And comes back. And I think he was saying the same thing to Grealish. You've got to come back. You've got to help the midfielders out. And I think he was really remonstrating to them last night. It's not acceptable. We've spoke about this. You've got to get back. I give him a 6.5, 7 because he scored a brilliant penalty, which makes a change for City, doesn't it? It does. Apart from that, not really. Didn't really shine.
No, I agree with that. And we've just been speaking about Jack, so we might as well speak about him the other side. I thought it was one of the goals of the tournament. It could be one of the goals of the tournament with how he glided through them, and that's the Jack Grealish we want to see. And I do consider that his first goal for City after his little deflection. I think that's the reason why we spent the money on him. I thought, how he glided through that defence and got that goal was absolutely superb. No matter who you're playing against, and Leipzig are a good side in Germany. There's no denying that. I thought how he did what he did was absolutely superb, and that's why we've got him. And if he can do that on a regular basis, then it's 100% worth the money that we paid for him, and that's why I gave him an 8 last night. I thought he was absolutely superb. And he deserved it. He really did deserve it because he did try quite a lot throughout. He was setting up chances for Varane. He was setting up chances for Kevin to pass on. It was really good to see. And, the first little link-up play with Kevin and Grealish was exciting to see. I thought it's something, it's going to look great over the season with them too. So, I gave him an 8 last night.
Yeah, I gave a 7. I think he's tried that goal last night. I think he's tried 5 or 6 times to try and score something like that. We've seen him cutting in. I think he's going to be a great player for us. I really do. He seems to be integrating himself into the Pep way. Obviously, he'll have bad games, and Pep will call him out, and he might be rested and dropped and whatever else. His attitude seems good on the pitch, which I like. Has he shone so far? Probably not. You wouldn't go, oh my God, he's amazing and he's this, that, and the other. But you can see his technical ability is exceptional. It really, really is. And I think as the season progresses, you're going to see Jack Grealish just become better and better and better. My only concern is who plays where.
I know.
Because, you've got Phil Foden who, we've got Foden coming back.
We've got too many players.
You got now, the problem being is you've not got an out-of-form Bernardo. You've got an in-form Bernardo. You've got Kevin De Bruyne coming back. You've got Mahrez at the moment might be looking at going, shit, I might not get into this team next week. I really need to put my finger out. So I gave him a 7. I gave him he was okay. I thought he was all right. His touch was great and everything else. But brilliant goal. Absolutely brilliant goal. But I just think he'll get better and better as the season goes on. As long as he stays injury-free, I think he'll have a wonderful season for City.
Yeah. I can't say anything else other than that. I agree. I don't think he's set the world alight as of yet, but he's just getting used to his surroundings, like you say, and I think, it'll be good to see in the future what he does. I really do. And on to the last man of the night, the last player rating, and that is Ferran Torres. I was a little bit disappointed in him last night. It was a good finish for his offside goal. It was very tight though, but he could have had a few more goals. He really could. It was slightly disappointing, but I'm not going to go too harsh on him after how good he's been. But after how he's been, he should be doing better. So I did give him a 7 last night.
I gave him a 6.
Yeah.
Wasn't the best for me last night. I think I didn't get involved enough. Touch was okay. But he's still a young kid. He's still learning. He's getting opportunities, and he's been so far this season. He's done all right for us. didn't think he was. I didn't think he was great. But it was one of those.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, we've just got, and we'll finish on there. So that comes to the end of the player ratings. Is there anything else that we need to add, Andy? I think, is the Fantasy Football League updated, or do we need to show that?
Yeah, I can bring it up now. We've only got the top 10, not going through everything. But as it stands at the moment, as you can see here, is that Zola Oxley is leading the Man City Fan TV Fantasy Football League on 313 points. A game that's had a good game week with 70 points. Oil FC, Glenn Dumbrell, he's on 277, so there's a bit of a gap there. But then equally, you've got, God, I can't even read that, my eyes. Yankee FC on the same. You go in, Fire Squad 275, so is Pep's Bald Head. I'm just Adam Butterworth, Euro Beans, he's on 267. Danny Allen is on 266, down to Mark Anthony on 262, along with Scott Williams, who's a regular on Man City Fan TV. Eurydice, where are you? On 262. So it's quite tight, but it's early days yet.
Yeah, 100%.
If you're not, joined the Fantasy Football League, you can still join it whether you want to. It's entirely up to you. But what do you want to go on to next? I was
just going to have a look at how poor I've been doing. I'm second from bottom on this league, 125 points. Yeah.
I don't even know where I am.
Should have a look.
I only screenshotted the top 10. I was bottom by miles.
You're 19th now, Andy.
What?
Oh, no, you're not. You're 32nd. You're 32nd. There you go.
How many?
You're still above me. You're 20 points above me.
How many have we got on it?
We have got 53 people, and I'm 52nd.
That's not too bad. I was bottom. So I moved up a few this week.
Oh God! Honestly. But yeah, I think that's about it now. We did the Q&A quickly before you came on, so we covered that. I covered Pep's comments a little bit on that.
Can we just have a quick?
Of course we can. I get my opinions on it, Andy, so I'll let you fire away. Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why he does this to us. I really don't.
No,
I don't buy into it's taken out of context thing. This is. I spoke to Jack Gorn from the MEN. He did post something, and I actually went, well, he didn't. This. And anyway, it was an article he posted from 2020. So I said, I apologise. It's my bad. I misread it. But I asked him a question in the Daily Mail, from the Daily Mail, not the MEN. And I said, what were your honest opinions about what he said last night? And he said, it just doesn't look good, if I'm being honest. And I've read loads of stuff on Twitter today. Some people are saying, it was taken out of context. Well, only a few people have said that. But why bring it up? There's no need to bring it up. Did he complain about the Norwich game, the attendance? Did he complain about the Arsenal game attendance at the Etihad? No. Almost full. Yeah. Apart from, Arsenal hardly brought any fans to the Etihad, so that obviously diminishes the actual overall attendance. And I just don't get it. And then we've got all of these, issues that are ongoing with the the mobile phone things and the crowds outside trying to get in, and the car parking, which is garbage, and road works and everything, and tram problems, and trying to get to the stadium is a nightmare at the moment. Then when you get there, you're faced with X, Y, and Z, and then you've got midweek. It's midweek. A lot of families want to go to games, but midweek with now schools on. No, exactly. You're going to take your kids for an 8 o'clock kickoff and then get home. I mean, I couldn't even go last night because of work.
No, exactly.
But I won't, even if I was off, I'm going to spend, 100, 120 quid on a Wednesday night to take, if I had small children, not
no.
Now. And then on Saturday, I've got to take them again on Saturday if they were small. And people need to realise that, we're a working class fan base. The majority of fans, I know you're in Bradford, but the majority of fans are local in the northwest region. We don't have that, 20,000 influx of Scandinavians and Irish people coming like Liverpool and United did.
Yeah.
I know that because when I flew out to Dublin last week or the week before, it was the Sunday after the Saturday game for Liverpool. And in Liverpool Airport, my flight to Dublin was packed with Liverpool fans. The whole flight.
Really?
No, they were all singing in the in the Liverpool Airport. And I come home from Copenhagen or Oslo or wherever I've been in Scandinavia. And if it's a game that next day or that night, the flights with SAS and everything are packed with the United fans.
Yeah, I bet.
We don't have that. We just simply don't have that following because, the success of the 70s, 80s, and when the Premier League team, when Premier League was formed in the early 90s, that's where all these fans have come from. They haven't, they're not, their fathers didn't support Liverpool in the 1940s and 50s. They didn't. In Scandinavia, and they didn't. But then you have obviously the Munich disaster, which created a big worldwide fan base for Man United and Liverpool in the 70s and 80s. So it's been passed on by generation to generation. But we don't have. Of course, we have tourists. Of course, we do.
Yeah.
But we have nowhere near the tourists that I saw Sky on Sky. It was posted on Twitter the other day, and it was somebody had posted. It was Sky interviewing about 10 fans outside Old Trafford, all about Cristiano Ronaldo's first game.
Yeah.
Was there a Manc in any of them? No. They were all Irish. Or every single one of them were Irish. And I'm not decrying Irish people supporting. Not at all. But I'm saying they have this massive, big 20, 30,000 plus core fan base that are outside of Liverpool, outside of Manchester. We don't have that. We simply don't. Most of the fans are from the Northwest and obviously may now live in London or wherever. We don't have that, history, let's say.
No, we don't.
Of the fans, not history of the club, but history of the fan base. And does it really matter? Does it really matter?
I don't really think so, to be honest.
Not for me. And the argument, what's a big club and what's this? Well, I said on Twitter today, well, hold on, you're talking about because we've not got a massive fan base. Well, what's Borussia Dortmund's capacity crowd? 81.5. Does it 81,500?
I think something like that. Yeah.
Would you consider Borussia Dortmund to be a big club in world football?
No, not at all.
So it's nothing to do with the size of the fan base.
No.
I mean, Barca, Real Madrid. Look at Barca's crowd. 90,000. They got something like 45,000 in. So don't forget Yorkshire. I don't forget Yorkshire there. No, I mean, like I said, I'm not saying you have to be from Liverpool, Manchester, wherever to be, but I'm saying we don't have that overseas, following that have season tickets like Liverpool or United do. I mean, forget about clubs because you go to any away ground, Chelsea, Arsenal, Spurs. I mean, everyone's in London. Japanese, the Chinese, whatever. They all get tickets for it. So I mean, it takes years upon years upon years of success to bring in the overseas crowd to become season ticket holders and to travel. And I don't think we'll ever have the Irish fan base or the Scandinavians. I think they're already Liverpool United. That's it. I don't think we'll ever break that. Our overseas fan bases are global, and they're never going to travel every week. 10,000 miles to go and watch Manchester City. They're just not. It's simply isn't. But I don't think Pep helped himself last night. I really don't.
No.
I mean, it was pretty annoying because he might be speaking the truth. And I think there were 38,072 fans there last night.
There was, and
47 Leipzig fans.
I know, it's crazy.
Well played to them.
Yeah, I know. And, that's the other thing, you have to remember there was no atmosphere back and forth because there was no away fans. So it was quite a flat game in general for the atmosphere, wasn't it?
And I mean, I wasn't there. I mean, I could only hear what I saw on the TV, but I don't think Pep helped himself. I really don't. And I don't think there's any need. You saw the away fan base at Leicester. Yeah, it was great. Do we hear Pep coming out going, the fans were incredible? We have one of the best travelling support in the Premier League by a long way.
100%.
You can't get tickets to go away. you struggle to get tickets to go away. Our away fan support is incredible, absolutely amazing. That shows you the loyalty. So to then call out the fans for a midweek game against Leipzig in the group stages of Champions League, which City fans are mixed about Champions League anyway, when they've got Southampton coming up and then Wickham and everything else. Exactly. In the present climate after COVID, when people are struggling with their jobs and everything else, and financially, I just think he might not have meant it, but what he did, he's opened the door to the media. I mean, you heard
100%.
Talk Sport today, and Simon Jordan having a right go at Man City again. But Pep didn't say anything. There'd been no discussion about this today.
He gave him the platform, hasn't he? He's given him the platform.
But I posted on Twitter earlier, just went, it's interested in Simon Jordan, who was the manager, who was the chairman and owner of Crystal Palace in 2009-10 before he left, or sold it as. Their average attendance for that season was 14,000 out of 26. Their 26 capacity, 14,000. So nearly half full. So don't talk about another team, filling a stadium with 38,000 instead of 55 when your own team that you owned couldn't even fill just over half full. So it's ridiculous. And somebody needs to have a word in Pep's ear and just say, stop it. Just stop it, because you are starting to piss off the fan base, the hardcore fan base. On Twitter, if you go across Twitter, they are, the hardcore fan base are really annoyed about what
massively
said. Really, really annoyed. It shouldn't be an issue. We shouldn't be discussing it, but we're just getting more crap and shit thrown at Man City again because of making a stupid comment. He's positive about the players. Be positive about the bloody fans that turn up week in, week out, away, overseas, wherever. Exactly. So I think it's annoyed quite a lot of the hardcore fan base.
Definitely. Yeah, and I think that's a good place to end it, to be honest, Andy. I think, we've both got our opinions across on that, and I think it's quite apparent that a lot of the fan base are happy with the comments that he made last night. And, let's see what gets said about it. Obviously, he's got his press conference tomorrow, and if anything does get said about it, then we'll see.
I think it'll be interesting tomorrow. I think it'll definitely be raised, because I think Jack Gorn from the Mail and others, if they get an opportunity to ask, they will definitely raise it tomorrow at the press conference. They'll say
100%.
The questions will be, Pep, you've annoyed quite a lot of the hardcore Man City fans talking about, the empty stadium and things like that, which obviously causes massive problems on social media. What are your thoughts on that? And we'll see what he says. He'll probably say, I didn't mean it like that, blah, 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 and, play the thing. He just needs to stop saying it. It's not the first time. He's done it on numerous occasions. And I think City fans overall, we've been one of the loyalist fan bases in the Premier League.
Definitely.
And he don't need to question Man City's support. He really shouldn't.
No, I agree. But that comes to the end of the TNT show. Longer than usual, which is brilliant. It's good to get a good debate and good bit of chat going on tonight. It's good to be back, and we've come back with a good show. Make sure you obviously check out the Friday Night Social tomorrow night. Ross and Andy will be presenting that tomorrow night. And there might be a special guest on for someone from Southampton. Fingers crossed that gets put into play. But other than that, thank you all for watching. It's been great. Night Blues, says Dudley there. So if you've only just joined, make sure you go back to the beginning. We've talked about a lot tonight. We've done everything. We've done Leipzig's player ratings, where me and Andy gave our ratings, and the rest of the show has just been talking a little bit about everything else in City's life at the moment, with obviously Pep's comments yesterday after the game and other little bits too. But that's all from us tonight. Thank you very much. Give us a like on your way out, and if you're new around here, give us a subscribe. It'd be much appreciated. But before next week, look after yourselves and up the Blues.
See you.